All right, passing it to you guys.
Thank you for your help, Kelly. It was very kind of you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for being with us today. My name is Nicholas Simon. I am an assistant professor of sociology at Eastern Connecticut State University. I'm here today with two excellent, brilliant students, Shaira Khan and Jean Rienzo, who are my teaching assistants and my research assistants this semester in two sociology courses, Introduction to Sociology and Introduction to Sociology major. Today, we'll discuss how we are using open pedagogy in these two courses.
So, as the famous proverb said, it takes a village to raise a child. In the case of the project to serve our local community, created by Eastern students, it takes many people. The work which has been done would not have been possible without their help.
So during the spring 2020, COVID radically transformed our way of life. As an educator who encourage all my students to volunteer every semester in our local community, I had to change my method very quickly. Because when I encourage my students to volunteer in the community, I ask them to self-reflect on their volunteering experience. It's a part of their grade, so I had to change very quickly. However, the grade is one thing. My main concern, like the main concern of Shaira and Jean, was, is, and will be our local community.
What we wanted to do was continue supporting the Wyndham Willimantic residents who are hosting Eastern University. This area suffered economic losses when local factories were relocated abroad. In addition, that TV show 60 Minutes featured Willimantic in one of its shows as the heroin capital of New England, which didn't help create a positive image of the town, and we see the impact of that to this day.
So here what I did about it, not only me, I spent my entire summer with the director of the Center for Community Engagement, Kim Silcox, and the assistant director, Kemisha Wilmot. And the three of us were participating in many virtual meetings, many seminars, many workshops, like I'm sure all of you in this room today. And we tried to learn how to create a virtual community engagement opportunity for our students to help the local community. So because I'm also passionate by open educational resources, I also spend some time in workshop and seminars about how to improve my use of open educational resources. And I was surprised that these two communities were not in conversation with each other because both have something in common. The open pedagogy community encourage students to create projects for one another. And on the other hand, the member of the service learning community promote the use of community project-based service learning. Although these two communities have much in common, I didn't see many conversation between these two. There is where this project comes in. I would like to promote the beginning of conversation between our two communities because we are facing the same situation, working for the common good in terms of COVID.
So, we decided to do something about this. The Center for Community Engagement, in partnership with local organizations, suggested the following ideas because they were interested in this project. Some of those projects they promoted included CCAR, the Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery, where students would work with their student leaders and develop employability workshops. Another project was Big Brother, Big Sister, where students would work with leaders to develop activities. However, with these two programs, we faced some challenges. These programs ended up starting at the end of October due to difficulties faced by the community partners. For example, many of the virtual CCAR meetings were canceled because the community partner had difficulties with technology. They did not know how to create a video call at the time of the meeting. It was the associate director of the CCE who used the WebEx application provided by our university to create the meeting for our partner. Our community partners are very talented people who are doing everything they can to serve the local community. However, due to lack of resources and manpower, they are having difficulties responding to our current situation. This explains why these programs took more time than usual to start and why many students actually ended up registering for the following program. Project that we saw the students choose the most was where they would make a video on an educational topic of their choice, and then those videos would be shown to the K through 12 community in Willimantic in collaborations with our teachers. Students filmed themselves doing science experiments, reading books, practicing skills. This was a favorite, especially for students who were hoping to become educators in the future.
In trying to implement the goals of the community service projects, we've noticed that the students are not very comfortable with open-ended assignment formats. We've been seeking very detailed guidance that we really don't want to provide for them. Although they profess to dislike traditional research papers, they are gravitating towards the more structured format of education. Some students have requested specific guidance with choosing their projects. And they've also asked for guides in how to design their videos to make them run more smoothly. One method which has been successful is recommending that they pick a theme and for each week do a video varying on that theme. And it's become clear that our educational system up to this point was designed around preparing youth for an environment where creativity and independence are not ideal traits. So we're hoping to remedy some of this with encouragement and positive examples and influence from their peers.
So obviously these are everyday students, so they definitely required some training before they could get started. So what the TC did was they had a mandatory 1-hour training session with John Murphy. John Murphy is an adjunct professor from the Department of Communications. He also specializes in radio programs. In this session with Murphy, students learned how to create a script and create a video. This training was also recorded, and students were able to access it to review different steps as they were working on their projects. Students also had weekly meetings with their student leaders.
So we had different steps to this project. Student would select an educational topic and they would create video. They had 2 weeks to create a video, and every week they were in communication with their student leader every week, if not every day, because the student leader were extremely engaged in the project and they really try to help every student. So when the videos were done, the video was sent to the student leader watched the video, suggest some edit, send it back to the student, and when it was done, the video was sent again to the student leader. It was sent to the director of the Center for Community Engagement, and after it was sent to me. So we will show you one of the video. Give me a few seconds to go to YouTube. And I would like to say that this is the best video which had been done. You had other video which were, I would like to say, less professional. However, it doesn't matter. What matters is the difference in terms of quality, difference in terms of quantity of videos which had been produced by students at Eastern Connecticut University for the local community. And I really love this sentence, for the people, by the people. So let's enjoy this beautiful video.
Hello and welcome. Today we will be painting a birch tree landscape with a colorful fall leaf background. Have you ever seen these red trees before? They're called birch trees, and their leaves change color and fall off as the seasons change. Today we will paint a picture just like the one you see here. First we need to gather our materials. They include scrap paper, 2 pieces of white paper, brown, green, yellow, orange, and red paint, a paintbrush, craft glue, scissors, paper towel, a cup with water, and a black marker. First you need to lay down the scrap paper on a table. Paint can get messy sometimes. Then place 1 piece of white paper on top, just like you see in the picture. Now you can put the different colored paints on a palette, or if you don't have one, you can use a paper plate like I do. We are going to start with the dark colors first. So with your paintbrush, paintbrush, dip it in the brown paint, and paint random dots on the white paper. The more random, the better. Before moving on to the next color, you need to clean your paintbrush. Put the paintbrush into a cup of water and mix around for about 30 seconds to get the paint out. Then, dry the brush on a paper towel and you're good to go. Now that your brush is clean, dip your brush into the green paint and place random dots of green on the white paper. Once you're done, remember to clean your brush in the water and dry it. Now that you know how to do it, repeat the same steps with each color. You want to go in the order of red, orange, then yellow. Don't forget to clean and dry your paintbrush in between each color. While the paint dries, let's make our birch trees. Grab the other piece of white paper and carefully cut 4 long strips. They can be straight, wavy, or curvy. It really doesn't matter. No tree is perfectly straight. Now that you have them cut out, place the white strips of paper on a scrap of paper. This can get a little messy too. Using the black marker, draw short lines and small triangles. Don't worry about making the same exact pattern. You can make your own design. Now you want to flip over the white piece of paper you just drew on so you're looking at the back of them. Using the glue, place 4 dots onto each of the pieces. After that, taking one piece at a time, flip it over and place it onto the painted background. Awesome job! Now you have your own birch tree painting. I hope you had a bunch of fun and thank you so much for joining.
Sorry, I really love this video. Sorry, I have a problem. I don't know
Oh,
where.
I do, Brickers. I feel so guilty.
And I
Another thing I have to
can't.
apologise for, I'm very poor remembering Christian names on people.
Sorry about that. Very sorry about that. Okay. The joy of not being very good with computers. Shara.
So as you guys saw, that video was on YouTube. So if you are interested in seeing other videos and seeing the wide range of what the students produced, feel free to visit the CCE's YouTube page and Facebook page.
So technological challenge, like what happened a few seconds ago. So as many of us know, technology can be very tricky things and cause several problems. In our project, we were not immune to the fault of technology. The director of the Center for Community Engagement, Kim Silcox, was the one who received the video made by students. So she received a MacBook from the university to receive the video, look at them, edit them if needed. However, not all students had access to iPhones. Many students also had Android. So it created some compatibility problem between software. In addition, some students made videos on their computer and used SharePoint to send their video to Kim. Kim had several concerns about that. Once the initial technological problems were dealt with, there came the issue of actually sharing these videos. At first, Kim put the videos on Facebook and quickly realized that not everyone had Facebook. So she decided to use a more universal platform, YouTube. However, the person managing the CC YouTube channel didn't remember the password. Yes, that's a true story. Finally, once all the hoops had been jumped through, Kim was able to post the video. As Kim expressed, for her, the biggest lesson from this situation is extremely important to understand the technological gap and the differences between how people understand and use technology.
We also have substantial student feedback at this stage that we can consider. In the benefit side, some of the students have been particularly thrilled to do this project because it has other benefits for them. One particular student finds great joy in helping kids and wants to be a teacher. This student recognized that this method of approaching his own education could help him make connections with potential employers and coworkers. He also expressed interest in benefiting from this style on the other end as a student. It would give the student teachers the opportunity to receive feedback and grow, and would also give him a less high pressure peer educator. There are benefits to the particular virtual format that we've made available this semester. As many students struggle with scheduling restraints, a silver lining of our current lockdown conditions has been the flexibility of remote learning. When the restrictions end, participant feedback has suggested that we could have positive results if we actually continue to offer the virtual community service option, as it really enables students with very tight schedules to get involved. As creators, the students had to take into consideration their audiences whom they haven't met. So they learned to avoid presenting materials which is too complex or boring. And so they learned about balancing the content with the connection. We also had some difficulties, which we've touched on a little bit so far. The other side of that, COVID restrictions and scheduling, has been that it's really hard for students to collaborate with each other. So they're missing out on the benefits of working with their groups in the same way that they could if we could see each other around campus. Additionally, not all sociology students have a great technical education or technical skills. So when it came to editing videos, some of our participants have struggled to actually complete their work or get the quality of work that they were aiming for, just because of the high level of computer work that's required. I, however, believe that if we can teach these students to engage with others and proactively seek resources and connections on their own, they will become better assets to future employers in their communities. So they will learn that they have something of their own to give. They do not need to wait around for someone to tell them what to do and how to do it. They will take action, seek information, recognize needs, and their own power to creatively fulfill those needs.
A very important regret from students was that they were not able to meet the kids they created the video for. That was a huge regret. Now it's during COVID-19, so we can understand it, but finding a way to communicate with the kids and the family would be a great idea, something that we need to think about. Shaira.
Sorry, I was having a little bit of trouble. So it is extremely important that Eastern and its students step up to the plate and help our Willimantic community in these very difficult times. With open pedagogy, it provides us the perfect opportunity. For younger students, seeing college students who are not much older than them makes the students pay more attention. It further grasps their interests. And quite frankly speaking, many of us have grown up in different classes, watching boring videos about random topics from school, and the picture we typically see is the same. Old white dude, maybe throw in a lab coat if it's for science class, and him talking at us. With open pedagogy, not only are we able to engage the K-12 community, but we are able to show them the diverse world that is out there waiting for them. With COVID, many communities were hit extremely hard, and Eastern, being in the Willimantic area, it's our responsibility to promote our students to further go out into the community, get to know the community, and help the community in any way they can. Open pedagogy allowed our students to do that.
So we are only three today doing this presentation. However, we really want to thank everyone who participated in the project. It's more than 10 persons who are not here today. However, without their dedication, without their support, people who basically did that in addition of their work, Eastern students will not be able to provide some help, some support to the local Willimantic community. And I hope that this presentation will create some bridges between our community for us to respond to the challenges offered by COVID-19. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask us, and you can also contact us by email. So I will stop sharing my screen, and please ask your question.
Professor, we have a question from the text box about which program the student used to make that video.
So, because they had different cell phones, they used different programs. And it was our desire to let the student explore what will be available. Students hated it, to be honest with you. They had way preferred. We told them how to do, what program select. So they lots of varieties of program to edit. And the YouTube video we showed was the best. We had one student just taking his cell phone and make videos for the kids. So some students didn't use an editing program. They just created a script and basically read the script, you know. And we really wanted that. We really wanted them to explore the different technology available to them. I hope.
Sir, there's another question about did we
for you? I answer one, you answer the one.
Oh, made for me. This question is, do we have feedback from the kids who saw the videos? I'm not sure that we have feedback from the kids yet, but we do have more requests from the teachers and the different schools than we can fulfill. So we know the staff are receiving them well, but we hope to hear from the kids in the future.
So on Facebook and YouTube, we didn't see comments. Also, the Center for Community Engagement tried to, in the past, Eastern students always work in after-school program. Because the Windham Willimantic community was highly touched by COVID, they had to close many schools, and they had tutoring online. It was in a closed
Network.
Closed network, and the thing is, the Eastern students were not able to help the kids in the Windham Willimantic community, which is very sad. So it had been an incredible technological problem. It had been a nightmare since few months, and it's very interesting.
Did you want to go over the contact us slide, Professor? How to reach us?
No, because I didn't do it.
Oh, sure. Well, we can be reached by email. I'll put an email in the chat box.
Mm-hmm. We can also add our emails and whatnot. And so if you have any further questions or think of anything later on, feel free to message us and we can have more of a conversation about it.
Excellent job, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and y'all are all welcome to hang out and chat informally for another 15 minutes.